Alright, how y'all doing? I'm MVA Examiner Rico, and I'm a Master CDL A and B instructor. Alright, so today we're going to do the 3 most important brake checks. Alright, which really is 4 parts because you got to do the air recovery. So with your service brake, you're just verbally explaining. Mr. Examiner, I'm starting off at 120 to 140 psi in air pressure until my governor cut out, my wheels are chopped. Mr. Examiner, I will push my clutch in, which is my 3rd pedal, put my gear shifter in low gear. Alright, I'm going to disengage both my tractor and trailer brakes by pushing them in. I'm going to slowly release my clutch and I'll pick up 3 to 5 miles per hour. At 3 to 5 miles per hour, I will apply my foot to my service brake right in the middle. And this vehicle should not pull to the left or to the right. If it does, that's indicating that my brakes have an issue. I would put it out of service and get it serviced or get it repaired. Now, that's the verbal part, which of your service brakes you have to verbally explain. Now, physically, you have to do your tug test. Alright? Now, Mr. Examiner, for my tug test, alright, I'm going to push in my clutch. Put my gear shifter in low gear, which is all the way to the left and back. That's 1st gear. Alright? I'm going to push in my red trailer parking valve to check my yellow tractor parking valve. By slowly releasing off the clutch, I should feel some resistance, indicating that it's working properly. Alright. Alright, it's operating properly. Now, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to engage by pulling out my red tractor valve, and I'm going to disengage by pushing in my yellow tractor valve to check my trailer valve. By slowly releasing my foot off the clutch until I feel some resistance, indicating that my trailer brakes are working properly. Alright, that was the resistance, that was a tug. Now, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to pull out, make sure y'all pull out this knob before you start the next part of the test. So, I pulled my yellow valve out, my trailer valve is pulled out. Alright, Mr. Examiner, with my foot on the clutch and my gear shifter in 1st gear. Alright, I'm starting at 120 to 140 psi. Alright, foot pushed down on the clutch, still in low gear. Alright, I'm going to cut my key to the off position. Cut it just to the electrical position, not all the way on, just to the electrical position. Place my foot on the floor. Put your feet on the floor. I'm going to push in my tractor, yellow valve, red trailer valve, push it in, and wait up to 15 seconds for my air pressure to stabilize. So wait till the hissing stop, wait 15 seconds, or until that hissing stop. Explain to the examiner. Again, you can say it again. Mr. Examiner, I'm starting at 120 to 140 psi. My wheels are chopped. This combination vehicle should not lose more than 4 psi when I apply my foot to my service brake. You're explaining what you're going to do. Now, Mr. Examiner, can you time me 1 minute so I can apply my foot to this service brake to make sure I do not lose more than 4 psi in 60 seconds. Mr. Examiner, can you time me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so when they tell you to go, then apply your foot to your service brake. Don't stomp it. Do not stomp the brake because you got 2 more parts to go. Don't stomp the brake.
All right, let's say 1 minute is up.
All right, turn to the examiner. Take your foot off for a second. Mr. Examiner, this combination vehicle did not lose more than 4 psi in 60 seconds. Now, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to fan my same service brake down into 55 psi. And my warning lights, dash lights, and warning devices will go off at or around 55 psi, indicating that they're working properly. Explain what you're going to do so the examiner know that you understand what you're doing, and then do it. And we're waiting for 2 red lights in a primary and secondary gauge. That first one right here with an air brake, we need them 2 little red lights to come on. That's 2. Stop immediately. As soon as you see these 2 red lights under the 1 and the 2, stop. Mr. Examiner, at or around 55 psi, my dash warning lights and buzzer sounds alarmed and went off, indicating that they're working properly. Now, I'm going to tell the examiner again. Now, Mr. Examiner, I'm going to continue to fan down my service brake, which is the middle pedal, and between 20 and 45 psi, both trailer and tractor valves will pop out, indicating that they're working properly. So now I'm gonna fan it down and I'm pointing, and between 20 and 45 psi, both of them valves gonna pop out. Make sure both of them come out. See, one came out, keep pumping, make sure both of them. All right, both tractor and trailer parking dash valves popped out between 20 and 45 psi, indicating that they're working properly. All right, do not pull on them. Don't touch them. That's an automatic fail. Don't touch them. Just let them pop out. Make sure both of them pop out. Even if you got to fan this down to 0, you fan it down. Make sure both valves pop out on their own. Now, this is the next important part. Now, and explain what you're doing. Mr. Examiner, now I'm going to do a air recovery by starting my vehicle up, which is really just another safe start. Mr. Examiner, I'm going to push in my clutch. Make sure I put my gear shifter back in neutral. Make sure it's back in neutral. If the truck jump when you start it up, that's dangerous. They're gonna fail you. Make sure it's in neutral and your clutch is in, and then start the vehicle back up. Turn it back all the way on to the right. Mr. Examiner, started my vehicle back up. I'm going to do my air recovery. I'm going to build my primary and secondary air pressure gauge back up to 125 psi until my governor cut out by putting my foot on top of my fuel pedal or revving my fuel up to 15 RPM or 1500 RPM until it reaches 125 psi or until I hear my governor cut out, which is that kss sound. That means the governor cut out right there. No more air going in the system. So I'm going to hold my fuel down and rev my RPM up, which is the left gauge, to 15 RPM, which is 1500 RPM right here. And just hold it steady at the 15 and you'll watch your primary and secondary air pressure gauges build back up from what you just pumped out. You just pumped all the air out, so now you're restoring all the air that you pushed out from pumping on the brake during the 3 air leak down test, which is 4 psi in 60 seconds or 1 minute. I did not lose no more than 4 psi in 60 seconds or 1 minute. I fanned it down to 55 psi to check and make sure my dash warning lights and buzzer sound go off, indicate that it's working properly. Third, I continue to fan my brakes down, alright, and at 20 to 45 psi, my tractor and trailer parking valves pop out, indicating that they're working properly. Fourth, I'm restoring the air that I lost by cutting my vehicle back on, but making sure I was in neutral before I even think about turning it on. I'm gonna make sure my gear shift is in neutral to build my air pressure back up to 125 psi or until my governor cut out. All right. Big truck life, baby. Big truck life. All right. So now y'all got the four most important parts of your end cab. Everything is important, but I see people struggling with. Y'all got my governor cut out. That sound, that was the governor cut out. It cuts the restoration of the air in the tanks out at that point of 125 psi. All right. So at the end of my end cab, because again, this is just for these parts. You have to do your lights. You still have to do your lights, your turn signals, your windshield wiper arms, rubber blades, your windshield seal, your mirrors, your horns. You gotta hit your horns, your defrost. You gotta check your dash. You gotta do your high beams. You gotta check your gear shifter still. You gotta check your range select. Make sure your brake valves are pulled out when you first get in. Your 3 reflected triangles, your fuses in the box, your fire extinguisher, stern wheel, stern column, all of your oil pressure rising in 3 to 5 seconds. You still have to do all that. Your DEF is reading at full tank. Your fuel is reading at a full tank. You still got talk about your water temperature rising below 200 degrees. Your voltmeter is 12 to 14 volts. You still have to inspect all that stuff, but I got other videos for that. This video is only for these 4 parts that we just did. All right, so if you want to look at the other in-cab pre-trip inspections, you gotta go to my other videos. This was specifically for the brake checks and only the brake checks only. So don't ask no other questions about none of the other parts. Just go check out the other video. This is for people who are struggling with the service brake, the air leak down test, and the air recovery. So big truck life, baby. Big truck life.